All right, listen up. 4 miles below the Pacific surface, where the pressure is enough to crush a titanium hull, the CIA found something that shouldn't exist. We're looking at declassified sonar logs from 2026, and they show massive, right-angled structures that defy every known law of underwater geology.
Let's be perfectly clear. This is not a natural formation. What we found, it's a city in the abyss. This is your briefing on Anomaly 7B.
So, how did we find it? Well, initial contact wasn't visual. It started as a sound, an echo from a place we all believed was completely empty, picked up by our most secret and sensitive listening posts on the planet. The signal was first logged by SOSUS, the Sound Surveillance System. For those of you who don't know, that's our top secret network of hydrophones laid across the ocean floor during the Cold War. Its one and only purpose was to hunt Soviet subs. It was absolutely never intended to find this. And make no mistake, this technology is proven. It's the same system that located the Soviet K-129 back in '68, which led to that whole clandestine recovery operation, Project Azorian. For over 70 years, this system has been our ears in the deep. And then, in 2026, it recorded something impossible. This system didn't pick up the acoustic signature of a vessel. What it registered was a series of massive, repeating acoustic reflections. And the returns, they were geometric. We're talking perfect 90-degree angles at a depth of 6,000 meters. You need to understand, nature does not build in right angles on the abyssal plane, ever.
Which brings us to the core problem here. The very existence of these structures presents a fundamental paradox. The physical environment at that depth is engineered for one thing and one thing only: total destruction.
At 6,000 meters, you're dealing with an ambient pressure of over 8,700 pounds per square inch. That is a force that will pulverize steel. It will compress any submersible hull we can build well beyond its structural limits. And yet, these structures remain completely intact. Basic physics dictates how you survive down there. You have to distribute the stress evenly. That's why a sphere is the optimal shape. A right-angled construction isn't just a bad idea, it's the weakest possible design. It actively concentrates all that crushing pressure at its corners, guaranteeing catastrophic failure. Look, even our most advanced deep-sea vehicles, from the original Trieste to our modern subs, are total slaves to these laws. They are spheres and cylinders for a very good reason. So whatever built these structures, either it simply ignores our laws of physics, or it's operating with materials that are light years beyond our comprehension. As you can imagine, this anomaly has been escalated. This is no longer just a Navy issue. No, this is now a matter for the intelligence community's most clandestine directorates. The lead agency on this is NURO, the National Underwater Reconnaissance Office. It's a joint Navy-CIA unit set up back in '69 for exactly this kind of scenario, finding and retrieving sensitive submerged objects. These are the guys who ran Project Azorian. They are the experts in recovering things that were never ever meant to be found. NURO's internal memos are unsettling. Hypothesis A considers the possibility of ruins from a prehistoric, maybe even global civilization. Hypothesis B gets right to it. It suggests we are looking at an active, non-human intelligence. And Hypothesis C, well, it remains fully redacted. So are we looking at the ruins of a world that existed before the oceans rose, or something that is still inhabited today? Things are moving fast. The analysis phase is quickly shifting to operational planning. This diagram was pulled from NURO's files. It's a preliminary draft for a recovery technique. They are already figuring out how to retrieve a piece of it. Until an operation is finalized, the immediate protocol is containment. The entire area has now been designated a zone of exclusion. These are the last known coordinates of the anomaly. All submarine and surface traffic is being rerouted under false pretenses. As far as the public is concerned, this grid square on the map has been completely erased. We've only mapped less than a quarter of our own planet's seafloor. This discovery, it confirms a new, hard reality. Our ignorance of the deep isn't for lack of trying. It might just be by design. It means we are intruders. And it means some parts of the map were never meant to be explored.